Hello, everyone. You're listening to Heart Conversations with Women of Noor. And our purpose is to share stories of um, someone from the group itself. And the word Noor means light of God. And I feel that as we all go through our journeys in life, we are all light of God or universe or whatever it is that you believe in. And as a light, that's what we have come into this world to shine bright and to live our best life. And with that, I'm going to, introduce our guest here, Sohana. Sohana is here to share her story with us. And in just a moment, Sohana, I'm going to give you the screen so you can share your story. But before I do that, I would like to introduce my co host, Kalpana. And Kalpana, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Saima. Thank you as always. It's honored to be in the part of this podcast. And good evening, ladies, Nida and Sohana. Nice to meet you as well. And yes, as she said, that everybody has something going on in their lives, but it's all about how we perceive and how we move on. Because it's all about, like we always say, it's one life and make the most out of it. And we can do it only by how we perceive things. It's all about the perception.
And I would like to introduce Nida Javed. She is a life coach. And Nida, good evening. Let you do an introduction about yourself.
Thank you so much, Saima, for having me. I am eager to hear Sohana's story. Kalpana, nice seeing you here as well. It's an honor to be part of this podcast today. As you all know, I'm a life coach, and one of the main goals of what I present and what I do is to make people capable to hand and take over their life and lead it with their terms to where they feel and find that persevering contentment that lasts a lifetime for as long as they are alive, living aligned with their mind, body, and soul in balance, where they feel there is no void and they are complete. So that's what I do as a life coach, focusing on family dynamics and, of course, more importantly, individual mind, body, and soul transformation, where a person feels fulfilled at the end of it all. So that's what I
Absolutely.
do.
Absolutely. And I just want to share with the audience that the reason for starting this podcast on Wednesdays, especially for Women of Noor, especially the purpose is to uplift and empower women and to make you guys understand that do what will make you happy. We go through our whole life because when we are born and as we are going through life itself, we are a product of our upbringing. We are a product of our parents' expectations. We are a product of our parents' unfulfilled dreams. We are a product of our environment, our friends, our circle, everything that is going on around us. We are a product of that. Um, the purpose of having this podcast here is to just make people realize that we have all these layers, that it's so important to peel those layers so that we can find our true self and our authentic self, and we can find who it is that we are meant to be, our purpose in this world, and we can be true to ourselves and live that life. And with that, I think my dog is insisting that I need to stop talking and introduce Sohana. So Sohana, please, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I know you are a talented woman, and you are a very courageous woman, and you have done all kinds of things, and on top of that, you are very talented. You're a singer, you're a musician, you are a trained dancer. So hats off to you for being so empowered and living your authentic best life. And please tell us about you.
Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and sasrikal, and hello to everyone. Um, I'm originally from Bangladesh and been in this USA since 1997. So I've been living in several states, and but I love Dallas. I just love Dallas because the weather is like our Asian country. So where I came from. But anyhow, I've been. I born and brought up in Bangladesh, and with my family, I live in a brought up with my grandparents and uncles. So it's a huge family. So I love family. So I know the value of family. How probably a lot of people don't value, you know, what is family, or they don't brought up. But now these days I see, father and mother, but not the grandparents. The kid doesn't see the grandparents, or they don't have that much get together. But I've been into bigger family, and I always loved to sing and dance. And my mom's side was everyone was singing. I was everyone singer. My grandma too. So they pushed me always to become a singer. So which I learned from Ostad since from my
Growing up in Bangladesh, you learned through an actual
natural
teacher.
teacher, yeah, for
Yeah.
7 years. And but I love to dance.
Wow.
Like I really, whenever I listen to music, it just my body was just moving. Like I cannot stop myself. So my dad was like, "No, you have to sing. No, you cannot dance." I'm like, "Okay," because the religious parents, they don't like you to dance. So nobody can stop me. I just go to a wedding and I start dancing. So that's how and I went to a lot of TV shows in Bangladesh. I
Mhm.
did TV shows dancing, uh, and 1997 I got came with my dad in U.S. in Pennsylvania, and
Mhm.
got married in Michigan within 6 months after I came to U.S. Like parents, they want you to get married, so
That's part of our culture that it's,
yeah, yeah, and
the
I
ultimate
always
goal is
I
marriage.
always wanted to, I listen to my dad. I'm very daddy's girl.
Yeah.
I'm very daddy's girl. So I listened to my dad, and he find me a guy, and I was like, okay, he's good looking. His, everything, family is good. So I said yes, and I got married. And even if I didn't even see him face to face, it was a picture.
Wow. So
That
you
much
saw
believe
a
I.
picture, and this happens quite a bit in our culture, that
Yeah,
you just saw a picture and you
that's
said
it.
yes,
Yeah.
and you looked at the credentials, and mine wasn't an arranged marriage. What about you,
Parents.
Nida and Kalpana?
Well, let's just say we were arranged by parents but fell in love.
Okay, awesome.
Well,
Okay.
ours is arranged marriage as well. So we saw he saw me and then went back to Indonesia, and then after he came back 6 months after we got married. So we kind of like had a phone dating for the 6 months, but
Phone dating,
it was being
virtual
arranged by
dating.
phone dating. I would say that. So yeah, I got married in 1997, and it is an arranged marriage by my parents. Yeah.
So both of you, Sohana and Kalpana, both of you got married in 1997.
Same time.
Mm-hmm. Same time. Yeah.
Go ahead, Sohana, continue.
Yeah, so I got married, and then been to since I was busy with my ex. I mean, my ex. Now he was his ex actually. So now on my husband. So I got divorced in 2013. So I was busy helping. I was busy making them happy and my ex-husband. So I totally forget about my dream, which is happened to every woman, I believe, mostly. I forget about my dream, my singing, my dancing, that what I wanted to do in my life. I was like totally into how to happy my mother-in-law, father-in-law, which is I created a relationship, which is they still love me. We still hang out, which is great. But in this time, I lost myself. I lost my dream and everything. So when things doesn't go right, when you feel like you're devalued, your partner is not giving you value, and eventually you find out that the person doesn't love you actually. So what I went through, that since childhood I've been through a lot. I mean, if I go back, I went through so much. So I was like, I don't deserve this. I deserve better. So then I started thinking about myself and my kids. A lot of parents I see, they're not in a good relationship. They just fake it in the outside the world. They fake it. They stay in the same relationship, and it's not good for kids
Yeah.
because they develop mental issue. They develop they don't trust any more relationship. They hate their parents. I see so many things. But fortunately my kids, I mean, they are in good shape. They understand me. They love. They have a value of relationship because I let them know every single step what's going on, what's going to happen. So they also very connected with their dad, their grandparents, and me too. So after the divorce, I've been through another side of life. Went through so much. I came out with a zero hand. I did usually in USA when you get 16 years of divorce, what do you get? A lot of child support and a lot of money, right? As a wife, but I did not take anything except I started from the beginning, zero, and where I am now, it's all my hard work. So I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it that I did not take any money from him. So after that, um, I I I was I was in Amway. I believe in a lot of people know what is Amway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was in Amway, and I studied a lot of books. I start reading a books, entrepreneur book, which has helped me a lot to motivate myself, to trust myself that I can do what I wanted to do.
Did
And
you start dancing again?
yes, after yeah, I start dancing in the Bengali community. I was start singing in the Bengali community since 2013 when I moved in Dallas, and I start teaching dance. I had a dance school, Milana Dance School, which is still there, but I came out from the partnership. But yeah, I start dancing and singing, and 2018 actually, all the achieves whatever I achieved, so many things. I think nine things. It started from 2018, 2019 to 2021. Just like I was so focused. I was like, I want this. When a woman wants something really badly, they can do it. I mean, I wouldn't believe
There's
like I
nothing
can
you
do
can't
this.
achieve.
No, you can't. I mean, I think we are more stronger than men. Men does look like stronger, but inside they're very. I'm a little boy, but a woman can do anything because we have that power. I mean, we our intuition is very strong. I mean, way higher than men. And when we
Wouldn't you say, Kalpana, that's Shakti?
Shakti, yeah,
Yes,
the
that's
power.
Nadi Shakti, I would say. Yep, yeah. So it's
So,
very interesting, Suhana. I mean, what you went through, it's really, I know it's, I would say it's bravo to you, the whatever went through. It's not easy being a single woman, and then all the journey that you started with zero and now where you are. But it's really marvelous. And everybody, like I said, like you said, that if women has a power inside more than men, but I think they don't discover it because by the time they discover, they're already into the entrapped in the family issues and a lot of things, and then it's probably for somebody it's too
Mhm.
late to come out. But and like we were actually having a guest last week, and she went through a lot as well. And then some people just stay in the marriage for decades, and then they can
Yeah,
come out for whatever reason they are. And we are not saying that you should, but I think there are people who are, like I said, they fake it. So a lot goes on, but I'm really just, it's a bravo to you that whatever you went through and then you came out of it.
I just wanted to make my kids proud of me, and I don't want them to go through the same thing. And yes, I actually I got married again in 2018. I thought I fall in love with someone that I was waiting for some person. He was the guy I was waiting for. That's how I felt it. But the bad news is it is worse than first time. So my I was totally damaged solely. I was totally, uh, what do you call? I was so went through so
shattered.
much therapist to find out myself because the person I was in the with the narcissist. So I don't know. You guys probably hasn't know what is narcissist is. They
Oh,
kill.
we know. Yeah, we
Oh, we
we
know.
talk about that a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's I think a
Oh,
lot of
this word is
women.
everywhere now.
I know this narcissist thing is so much, but a lot of people, a lot of women doesn't know about this. I mean, guys as well. I think. Uh,
Unfortunately, Sohana, these days the stats say that narcissism is increasing more, especially the young people
why
are
is that?
more narcissistic. Yeah, especially the young boys. They are so adamant; they just want their way, and the psychologists say the number is increasing more higher, and it's very sad because relationship will affect with that narcissism in their family.
And
Nida,
Because
I
see
as
would
a
the
like
life
to,
coach,
yeah.
why is that what Kalpana is saying that narcissism is increasing and young boys are becoming more narcissistic? Uh, as a life coach, what do you feel?
So, of course, I can't say or speak about narcissism from a psychologist perspective, but I can tell you from what I have discovered. One of the things with that is having a sense of self importance and kind of self wanting other people to kind of acknowledge that I exist and I'm awesome sort of behavior. And
validation.
that, yes, validation. And it leads to abuse as well. Now, if we look into statistics, women are reaching up there too. I would like to go back to Sohana's story of how the upbringing is. The reason I have discovered majority of the Desi men show the tendencies of control,
Mm-hmm.
narcissism, and entitlement is, let's be frank, our Desi culture is raising children to make women, or used to make women submissive and very nurturing and attentive to the details of other people because they're by nature nurturers. And men are deprived of experiencing emotions. They don't cry. You have to, their violent behavior or, showing that kind of aggression
Aggression.
is justified.
Mm-hmm.
They are told it's okay. They have, yes, it sounds like they're given a lot of privilege because of gender, and in many times that's what happens. That's what makes them feel that, you know what, you got to listen to me. That's how they have seen their dad. They have seen their mom being
Yeah.
exactly playing the role of what they want their wife to do, because that was the first example of a woman they have witnessed in their life.
So we do have Ashok, Dr. Ashok Bhattacharya, who's watching our live, and he's a psychiatrist, and he comes on my show once a month, and he says that women are stronger than men, and he says that narcissism is a defense to deep insecurity.
Yeah,
So yes, that does make sense when you're really insecure within. You tend to lash out and you tend to just be more aggressive and show yourself with aggression, so you can feel that you're superior, um, when you're actually not.
You
exactly.
know what, actually, Saima, this only thing is the part of like Sahana and Nida said that it's part of the upbringing as well because women are being nurtured or brought up to be perfect always, whereas men is brought up to be brave. Well, when they like you said, when the boy falls, you say the boy can't cry, whereas women is always it's brought up and nurtured in such a way, groomed that it has to be perfect. So I think it has to be other way. We need to just teach girls to be more brave rather than perfect. It is okay if they make mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And the fight also, you know what, in any relationship, especially in the married relationship, the fight occurs when I think there's men fight for the control and the women fight to have love, but
Mm,
unfortunately neither of them can communicate properly, because the women want love because they want to bond with men, but sometimes they could be sarcastic, and they don't communicate directly, and it just receives in a different way, and then men fight for always control and power. That's what happens, and that's where the disconnection happens, like we were talking, like the marriage is a long-term relationship, and it has to have a mutual benefit. If that does not happen over the period of time, the disconnection starts occurring. And the more the gap is, that's what occurs all these fights and divorces and all this depression rates are hiring because there's no mutual benefit after you get married. It has to happen
It's
too.
lack of communication, right? It's a
Lack of
lack of
Yep.
communication is definitely there, but I would like to point
Have
out one thing though.
have the communication
When
skill.
the couple comes together, we have to understand it's two different individuals coming from two different backgrounds, bringing their baggage to the relationship.
Mhm.
They both have insecurities, they both have fears, they both are carrying undealt with issues and emotions. One is emotionally empowered, maybe the other isn't. So the expression is missing. How to come about and come together in a relationship. I know Suhana mentioned that she trusted her dad when he brought the proposal and suggested, right? That means there was a male figure that you trusted, and there was a reason for that, of course. But I feel most women, if you notice, they thrive immensely as soon as a male figure is missing from their life. I have seen women come together, as in bring their self together, rebuild, and actually do anything, even if it means, okay, giving an example of a husband who's gone out for a military station, and here is a woman running a business, raising a family all by herself. Not that they're divorced or relationship is suffering, but because she then has a chance to tap into her abilities and reach into what makes her complete. When the male figure is present, we kind of, as women, end up being and forming that comfort of dependency, which is not entirely a bad thing. Men form it with their women as well. And when that dependency is taken away and you are put in a situation where you have to figure things out, that situation doesn't occur early enough because let's face it, we have our parents who are telling us what to do, what not to do. An average human being lives for 79 years.
Mhm.
And portion of it, that life is being raised, you're being raised by your family, you go to schooling, you're going through different systems, you're getting familiar with what your religious outlook is, you're getting familiar with your cultural outlook, you're getting familiar with what your parents are saying, and then in midst of all of it, who are you exactly?
you lose your own. See, I think what is missing is the fact that growing up, you have all these voices that you're surrounded with, right? Somewhere along that journey, you lose yourself. You don't really know who you are. And I think that's what happens, right? Generally, so I've seen that what we call midlife crisis that I know I went through in, a few years ago, where I was like, oh my God, what has happened with my life? Has my life gone? I mean, I've been this, confident person. I've been very authentic. My parents let me be authentic, but I was still lost. I was like, I was just overwhelmed. And then I started trying to find myself and my voice and what my wants and my desires and what are my aspirations, what I wanted to be. And it started changing the dynamics of my life. And I've also experienced that this generation is going through this crisis literally in their teens. In their teens, they are fighting to not live up to our expectations, but they are fighting to be whoever it is that their inner voice or their soul or whatever they feel happy doing. And that's not easy for us as parents to accept.
Yeah.
So, with the children, let me share one thing. I feel the time I grew up in personally was away from a lot of distractions. I mean, the year 2000, I graduated, I just dated myself. I graduated from high school, and internet was just being introduced at that time. And, I was just doing a group coaching session with my girls, those little teenagers, they're so cute. And I was like, I used to they had Internet Explorer icon, and I would search how to use internet on it. But here, I feel in today's time, though, there is so much information and so many individuals on the internet. If you go to TikTok, Instagram, and whatnot, that our children overall, regardless of where they're coming from, they have a lot of comparison happening. And we used to call it bullies. Now they have online trolls, and
Yeah.
people are throwing opinions. Now imagine a little heart that already has a school to deal with, already has parents telling them, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, this is your strategy, this is what your standards of living should be, this is what you need to do, rights and wrongs. And then they go on the internet and they see someone who looks so pretty, and the girls are developing insecurities, and we'll just focus on the girls because it's really impacting them. They're looking at these perfect bikini bodies,
Yeah.
and then they're looking at themselves in the mirror, and some are not even. It's a selfie mode 24/7, and it's all filters. Let's just talk about the psychological impact of not having to accept who you actually look like,
Yeah.
and it's
And you
taking
see that,
over.
right? I mean, you see all these filters, and sometimes we do see that you meet people, when you actually meet people, and you don't recognize them because because of the
You look a
filter.
lot
There's
different,
such a
yeah.
difference. But
Well,
coming back to you, Sohana,
yeah.
I know you said something that you wanted to be heard when you were married the first
Mhm.
time, and then you lost yourself somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think most women, and I said the same thing, right? That few years back I went through something similar, and I felt that where's my authentic
Mhm.
voice? What, right? So what is it? Is it our fault? Are we to blame for losing our voice?
Uh,
Or is
I
that how
I
we are raised?
I believe it's our choice because God gives you choice, and it's who we choose. So it's our fault. I'm not gonna sometimes parents do, like when they force you to get arranged marriage. That's true, but in my case I could have said no, but I did not, so it's my choice.
Yeah.
So it was my choice, so it's my fault.
It
uh,
is. It is. Whatever is
I
happening
but
to
you
us
have
at the
to
end.
blame, you
Yeah.
have to have the courage to take the blame.
Yeah.
I don't blame any other. I just, it's my fault. So
Yeah.
it's so that way you don't feel
Responsible.
very
Stop
responsible.
being the
Yeah.
victim all the time, right? And
Yeah.
I feel exactly the same way. I tell myself, stop being the victim. Take accountability for
Yeah.
your decisions, your choices,
Mhm.
whatever it is you're choosing to do. Because once you take that accountability, then you take accountability and you find that courage within you, that if this is where your life is taking you, and if
Mhm.
you want to change your trajectory, then that decision also lies in your
Also,
hands,
yeah.
and you're the
So yeah,
only
I
one who
changed.
can change that.
Yeah, I changed it, and I thought it's gonna be, I think, as a single parent, I'm in a peace now. I know. I mean, not for everyone.
Of course.
There's a marriage also good things for a woman. I mean, family, which I tried it after 16 years of divorce. I tried it the second times to be happy, and it's just I think I'm not lucky with that. And also I don't blame others. It's my
Third
choice.
time's the charm, Sohana.
Second time, my daughter's like, they are like friends to me. They always like, Mom, why don't you go to date? I was like, I am tired of it, guys. No more. I'm just focusing on my career, my singing, mostly singing. So I launched my music recently, 4 weeks ago. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations. What a milestone. So what are you going to sing for us, Sohana?
I'm going to sing a Hindi song which I got a first award on Texas Star Kalakar 2019
Awesome.
for the music non-classical
Oh,
song,
that's good.
and also
Awesome.
2020 I had the dance non-classical dance from Meenakshi Shishadi award. I got the dance award first prize. So I'm just gonna one or two lines.
Sure. We're ready whenever you are.
Yeah.
आते जाते हंसते गाते सोचा था मेरे मन में कई बार वो पहली हंसी हल्का सा असर करता है क्यों इस दिल को बेकरार यही सच है शायद मैंने प्यार किया आहा तुमसे मैंने प्यार किया.
Okay, that gave
Wonderful,
me
wonderful.
goosebumps. That was so
That's
good.
really nice.
Very
Very
The way
pretty
good.
you have
voice.
actually made the modulation of the tune, it's really great.
Yeah, I do my own way to. That's what the judge told me. Like you don't copy, you do your own self. So keep singing. That's why we gave you the award, other so you can keep going on. So that
Great.
day, I
That's
mean,
great.
I got my confidence levels go so high. I just went there to see how what the judges tell me. I didn't know that I'm gonna be the first prize winner. Same thing happened when I go for win for pageant. My daughter, she said, "You have to go. I know you're gonna win." So they pushed me. They filled out everything, and I end up going over there and second runners up with the Miss World Texas with the 5 hours. So they were like, they were so happy. My daughter's like, "Oh my god, mom!"
See,
Uh,
you're an inspiration for your daughters. You're a role model, and I think that is something that women tend to forget. That we if
mhm.
when we have children, that our children are watching us, and uh, we have a responsibility to our children, because when we live in toxic environment, when
Yes.
we live in an environment where there's unhappiness, that is, like you said earlier, Sohana, that is exactly what the children
Feel.
also breathe in and breathe out. And that's what makes them miserable, because all the time, you hear that, okay, if things are not working out with you in your marriage, you know what, you need to stay in your marriage for the children. You have to, until the children are this age or that age.
Mhm.
But
Mm-mm.
that
No.
is not true.
That is not true. And my kids helped me to get out of this relationship. The second time that I tried it, they were telling me, "Mom, there's something weird about this guy. There's something weird about this guy. You have to, you have to, be careful." And I didn't understand. Later on, I find out, and then they pull me out from this. Actually, my
And
kids pull me
children
out.
can be a strong support system, as long as, mom has the courage to,
Yes.
whatever choices has to be
And most
made.
important, I would say for parents, is that when you're going through something
Mhm.
emotionally, internally, make your children aware.
Yeah,
It's
that's.
okay to be vulnerable in front of your kids because they are not learning from your speech as much as they are learning from observing your behavior.
Yeah.
And that you can tell from, especially in elementary school children, the drawings they do when their teacher assigns or the essays they write, on Mother's Day and so on and so forth. That's the reflection of you that you're, or the perspective that your children have of you.
Yeah.
I think the best encouragement I got in my life throughout was after my children started school and all these little things started coming home where they're speaking about me. My daughter, she was asked, what gets you really sad? And she's like, when my mom is really mad at me. And that hit me. I was like, in my mind, I'm not even getting mad at her, but she senses that mom is upset. And
Yeah.
that kind of motivated me to alter my relationship with my daughter. Right now, she's a teen, and believe it or not, she has her teen moments, but we are friends where she's open to discussing anything that is bothering her with me, and I'm open to discussing what is bothering me too. And I validate her opinion and her advice. I ask for it
Mhm.
because who better to validate your children and make them feel valued for having a perspective than the parents? And many parents lack that. They
Mhm.
will not say, tell me what you think about this. No, they will rather dictate what the child needs to do than to give their child a choice and be the guide.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's not easy, Nida. I myself am guilty of, some of these things. I've been very bad at communication, and I think in the past couple of years, my own daughters have been teaching me, and they have taught me to become a better communicator. And I tend to just go into my shell, but I'm trying to be better at the communication and express whatever it is that's in my heart or whatever it is I'm feeling, so that I put it out there, and then see
Exactly.
what the girls have to say.
One of the most important thing I would want everyone to recognize is that each one of us is a work in progress.
Always.
We learn over time. No one was born knowing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Our circumstances, our situations, all of that teaches us some strength that we did not tap into before, some skill that we did not recognize before. And we get to learn and develop. I often say there is so much more I haven't done and
Yeah.
I'm waiting to discover because only time will tell where my life is supposed to go. And it's true. It's just we have to be leaving that door open for anything that comes to us because at the end of it all, we are a work in progress. And
Absolutely.
might I
To
add,
that, even
sure, go ahead.
no,
Go
no,
ahead,
sorry,
Kalpana.
to cut you. No, to that, having said that, even with me, I would say there were times that I felt that I did not communicate well with my children. So there was a time when I discovered it and realized it. I took them for breakfast. And there was a time where I told them that you just go ahead and say whatever you have to say. And I'm just going to be the listener today. I'm not going to just interrupt or anything because I really want to know more. And they said, mom, you could have done this way, mom, you could have just said this instead of that. And I was just like receiving this, perceiving, then I realized that I felt so bad that I could have done something differently. And the next week I took them again. It was a 2 week trip total. And then I said, I'm really sorry. I do realize that that was young of me or whatever. I was very naive or whatever, maybe. But yes, I could have acted a little different. And we are, as a human, we all make mistakes. But I acknowledged whatever they said, and I'm trying to just make the things happen and communicate in different way. And as you said, my kids both are like, my son is 21, my daughter is 17. So we kind of they share a lot of things with me, and a lot of things, some I say yes, some I say no, but there always been a mutual respect, by regardless of whether I am okay with it or not okay with it. But I know that we learn over the period of time. Like I just say, I strongly believe that the early education in any field is very good, but not everybody gets early education. We just experience with with whatever situation happens with us, right? But some people learn from it, some people let that go, and it keep repeating. So I have really learned so many things, and it gives me so much peace when certain things happen around me. My perception has changed so much. So I don't react the way I used to. I definitely be calm and observe and see. So I think it all takes over the period of time. It doesn't happen overnight.
And that's what happened in 2020 with us, because we were in quarantine. We
Yeah.
started doing like a weekly thing, a weekly dinner, a weekly movie night, and we would all sit down as a family. And what we did was, we were like, okay, everyone gets to say whatever. It's a non-judgment zone. Everyone can say whatever they want to say, no matter how much it hurts anyone. We will just have to take it in our stride, endure it. And that's how it was. That's how it started. Initially, with my girls, there was just a lot of stuff coming out. And some of it was like really brutal. And it was like a punch in the gut. And you were like just cringing. But that's how it was, right? It was a non-judgment zone, which meant that they could say whatever they wanted to say. They could use whatever language they wanted to express their frustration in, or whatever it was, right? It was a non-judgment zone, and they could express themselves. And of course, initially it was difficult, but then it started to, the space and the energy, it started clearing up and cleaning up, and it started getting better. And
A lot of unpacking has
they
to be
were
done.
flourishing, right? they were flourishing at the same time as well. So I mean, I think, like you said, opening up these channels to communication,
Mhm.
whether it's with our spouse, whether it's with our children, we they communication is key. And we are reaching the end of our show. And Sohana, before we end the show, what advice would you like to give to women? It's your moment, whatever you would like to share with everyone.
I think women need to know how to value themselves. I and they need the enthusiasm to do more in their life, not to just husband and wife. I mean, uh, in-laws and families. They're into too much and they lost their self, which I did. And I found out that I had so much things to do in life. I This is not only just my family. I want to do something for people. I want to do something. I help people, which I am working on it, a non-profit project in Bangladesh. And here also I help a lot of women who are going through so much in life. I mean, they don't have husband, or they're abusive, through their husband. So um, it's very important to help people. It's not only just family and you. It has to be more than that. We women can do a lot of things, as I told you. So not only singing, dancing, and I wanted to create something. I wanted to create something different.
That's important too.
Mhm.
Like me and Kalpana, we always say this, right? You can only give, whether it's a non-profit organization or whether it's other people, other
Personal.
women, or for us, for myself, Women of Noor, or anything. Because I disappeared from the platform, for a couple of years, because I was going through my own soul searching, and I was going through my own issues, and I had to sort myself out first, because I could only give to others once I took care of my own needs and my own soul and myself. But at the end of the day, right, once you are full, only then you're able to nurture, and
Yeah.
you're able to spread, and give, only from a
Your
place of
surroundings.
Um,
fulfillment.
and then one more thing I wanted to share, like a lot of women, they are in surrounded by negative people a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, everywhere is negative people. You have to clear your mind with the positive thoughts. So to do that, friends, I cut off all my negative friends. I don't have any negative people. So I keep myself like, even if I heard any negative things, I don't just listen anything. I just shut down myself with those people. So that's a very important thing too, and I wanted to share, like, just not to be negative, and because it's spread. The
Yeah.
negative things you're spreading to others, your behavior,
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
facial expression. I can tell, like, what's is going on the other person.
Yeah.
I was a psychologist. I had a 4 years of classes I did course,
Yeah.
so I can tell as
Because we
well.
are weak as individuals, as human beings. We're not perfect. All the noise which we are surrounded with, here, there, everywhere, that things that people say, we are impacted by other people's words and other people's,
Not only other
advice
people,
and
our
opinions.
family members too. Our family members inside our family also has a lot of
Everyone has
negative.
an opinion, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So I think, Nida, parting words from you.
Well, ladies and all of women of Noor, here's a message. I often get asked, how do you know that my friend is a good friend or they really have good intentions for me? Here is a way to tell. You have to really be mindful of who helps you count your strength and good things about you, and who is the one who's counting all the bad things about you. Stick to your encouragers. Stick to the one that makes you see the good in you. And you know what? That's how you create your tribe and your surroundings. Because if you have someone picking on you, you need to pick them out of your life. With
Flick them
that
like a
simple
fly.
advice. Oh, yeah. You need
Kalpana.
to grow your wings with the positive
Well,
people.
I would
Absolutely.
like to just say some lines which I wrote on our heart to heart before. So it's in Hindi. So I think Sohana, you can understand Hindi as well, right? So I'm expecting Nida too.
Yeah.
So something is said, वैसे तो निभाती है सारे किरदार पूरे दिल से, फिर भी न जाने क्यों शक करती है अपने पर ही कब से। नारी पहचान अपनी शक्तियों को और कर उनकी कदर, कहना पड़े जमाने से सो कह दे होके निडर, और रहना चाहती हूँ उन्हीं रिश्तों में तो रख संभाल कर अपनी खुशियों को। दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव टू से।
Very
Absolutely
nice. I
wonderful.
like it.
And Kalpana, whenever you sing, I like, I always admire your singing. So one of these days, you need to
I
prepare a
will.
song and come and sing for us as well.
Absolutely,
But Sohana, I
absolutely.
have to tell you that your voice was so melodious and it was
Thank you.
so beautiful, and your singing just touched my heart. And I wish you joy and happiness from the bottom of my heart. And I hope, you know what, just take chances on life again, because yes, our happiness does not come from our from a spouse or from other people. It does come from within us. But having companions around you sometimes, they help bring that smile on your face, because sometimes life does get lonely.
Uh-huh.
And so I do wish you all the very best. And until next Wednesday, people women who are watching the show, this show is about sharing stories of other women and their strength and their courage and their resilience, just like Sohana. And we had someone else last week, and we have someone else coming on the show next week as well. If you would like to be a guest on our show, just email vip@simadillon.com, or just DM Kalpana or myself, and just come on and share your story. We are not here to put anyone down. We are not here to put down men. They are a part of our existence and part of our being as well, and part of the creation of this universe. So we are not here to put, because for me, life is not black and white, life is gray. Everyone has their own version of the story, and sometimes I just feel that either two people have reached the end of their journey together, or two people are not the right match for each other. And I think that's okay. It's okay to go your own way and seek what makes your soul soar. So thank you all for watching, and thank you for being here. And we are going to end
You
with
ladies, thank you.
Thank
thank you,
you.
ladies, for being here.